Alright guys, so the Capcom Arcade Stadium dropped last night, February 17th, after the Nintendo Direct. It is free to download in the Nintendo eShop, and it comes packed in with 1943, The Battle of Midway. Ghosts and Goblins is also free to download from the eShop from now until the time that Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection releases on February 25th. After that, it will run you $1.99. Alright, so what is the Capcom Arcade Stadium? Well, it is a way for you to play some of Capcom's greatest arcade hits on the Switch. And we will talk about the games, features, and if I think it's worth it. Also, before I get too far, the Capcom Arcade Stadium is only available on the Nintendo Switch as of the recording of this video. However, Capcom has said that it will be coming to the PlayStation, Xbox, and PC at a later date, but they did not specify that date yet. So what all games are available? Well, there are a total of 32 games, the two previously mentioned, and then there are 3 separate packs, each pack containing 10 games. Each pack accounts for different eras. Pack 1 covers the arcade games from 1984 to 1988, and the games included are Vulgus, Pirate Ship Hagmaru, 1942, Commando, Section Z, Tatake no Bankei, or also known as Trojan, Legendary Wings, Bionic Commando, Forgotten Worlds, and Ghouls and Ghosts. Pack 2 covers the arcade games from 1989 to 1992, and the games included are Strider, Dynasty Wars, Final Fight, 1941 Counterattack, Senjo no Okami 2, or also known as Mercs, Mega Twins, Carrier Air Wing, Street Fighter II, The World Warrior, Captain Commando, and Varth Operation Thunderstorm. And finally, Pack 3 covers the arcade games from 1992 to 2001, and the games included are Warriors of Fate, Street Fighter II Hyper Fighting, Super Street Fighter II Turbo, Powered Gear, Cyberbots, 19XX The War Against Destiny, Battle Circuit, Gigawing, 1944 The Loop Master, and Pro Gear. Alright, so on this sheet right here, what I did was I took all the games, put them in their separate volumes or separate packs, and then I kind of got them color coded as of up top. So all these yellow games are from the Capcom Belt Action Collection or Capcom Beat 'em Up Collection that released on the Switch a couple years ago. I did a video on that way back when on the channel. Then the green ones are pretty much the games from the Capcom Classics Collection Volume 1 on the PS2. So you see that whole first volume is all just games that are on that Volume 1 Capcom Classics Collection. The orange ones are the Capcom Classics Collection Volume 2. And you can see those are kind of spread out in the Volume 2 and Volume 3 of this collection. And then you can see the pinkish ones are games that are not on any of those 3 collections. So those are just the 3 most popular Capcom arcade compilations that I thought I would include. I know some of you probably have those. You may not have any of these. But just by looking at this iSight, it kind of put things in perspective of that Volume 3 kind of has the most games that have not really been included on anything as of late. Alright, so all 3 of these packs cost $14.99 a piece, and you can purchase all 3 packs together at the cost of $39.99 a piece, which will save you about $5. I personally only purchased pack number 3 as it had the most games that I was interested in, with 4 beat 'em ups, 4 shoot 'em ups, and 2 fighting games. I may go back and grab pack 2 as I would really like to have Carrier Air Wing because it's the spiritual successor to UN Squadrons on the Super Nintendo. Unfortunately, as of now, you cannot purchase games individually, with the exception of Ghosts and Goblins. Will be nice if they change that, but I wouldn't hold my breath. But after you got your game and you get started, you are first prompted to connect online, and this allows you to post your scores to online leaderboards. So yes, I will obviously do this. Once connected, then the UI will display all the games as if you are in the arcade, which is a pretty cool touch. From the main screen, you can filter by playable, which is the games that you have purchased, download, which is the games that you have not purchased, then all games. You also have your favorites, and then you can filter by genre. When you are focused on a current game, you can toggle the ROM version between English and Japan, and you can add or remove it as a favorite. You can also load a saved game, view your rankings or high score in the game, and also check your status, which will tell you your total playtime and play sessions. You can also check your class list and CASPO ranking. Your CASPO ranking, or Capcom Arcade Stadium points, is increased by playing longer, beating games, and completing challenges. Gaining more CASPO will increase your class and rank, enabling you to achieve rewards, which for the most part are just new wrappers for your display. You can also look at the online leaderboards for these categories and see where you stack up against fellow players. The menu will have game manuals, triumphs, which are achievements, and then system settings where you can adjust music, volume, brightness, language, and so forth. Once selected a game, you can just do a standard free play, which will allow you several customizations as how the game will be displayed. There are multiple presets, and then you can just customize everything. The frame will allow you to play the game as if you are actually on an arcade cabinet. You can use different wrappers for your borders, or just go with the plain blank screen. You can also adjust the display size, the display filter, giving you the option to add scan lines, then the screen and display orientation, allowing you to rotate the screen for playing in handheld mode. After selecting your settings, then you just need to pop your quarter in and you're ready to go. Once in the game, you can save the game, load a saved game, look up how to play, change the controller settings and button layout, look at the game manual, and once again, change the display settings. During gameplay, you can rewind using the ZR, or what I call the R2 button, but you can rewind it as often as you want if you're struggling on a particular boss or just a certain area of the game. I'm too old school and never tend to use the rewind features when they are available. However, I do acknowledge that it's nice to have this addition. Other than the standard mode, you have Score Challenge and Special Challenge. The Score Challenge is what you play if you want to compete on online leaderboards. In Score Challenge mode, you will not be able to use your custom game settings, and especially not the rewind feature. You will also need to reach a certain score threshold before your score qualifies for the leaderboard. I'm not really sure why they did this. Some of these thresholds can be pretty high, and I would just like to see the leaderboard regardless. There is a Special Challenge mode as well, but I don't see any available. So maybe they just haven't implemented these yet. I'm assuming these could be daily or weekly challenges for a game, but I'm not sure at this point. The emulation for the most part is pretty good. I feel like the sound is not 100% on point, but it's not terrible by any means. To be honest, I had pretty low expectations for the Capcom Arcade Stadium, but I was really impressed with the overall effort and presentation that they delivered. I would check out the game packs and see if there are any that have 2 or 3 games that you are interested in and give it a go. Like I stated earlier, I tried the Volume 3 or Pack 3 and really liked it. It includes Gigawing, which hasn't been released since the Dreamcast, and also Pro Gear, which was actually developed by Cave and published by Capcom. And I don't know if it's ever gotten a release other than on a mobile device. Yes, there are a lot of games on these packs that you have seen over and over, but you may find some that you haven't tried. I just think there are some fun to be had here, and I would give it a try. Also, like I mentioned earlier, the Capcom Arcade Stadium is coming to other platforms down the road, so that's always an option. If you would like to see a more in-depth look at the games on Pack 2 or 3, then let me know and I may make a follow-up video. In the meantime, thanks for watching and see you in the next video.